All right, welcome guys. This is Eric from Free NFL Bets, and also now I'm at Easy Money Wins on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm going over preseason week one with you guys in this episode. Welcome to the pod. I'm going to be doing this show every week this NFL year, and then also I'm going to be doing it for the NBA. I'm going to try to do like a daily show in the NBA on YouTube and on all podcast platforms. I'm going to be giving out my free bets. I've done really well the last 3 years. It's all documented at Free NBA Plays and Free NFL Bets on Twitter. So go check it out. I got a Google Doc in there. Looking to keep this thing rolling. So I guess before I get into week one, just quickly, like I'm a high volume bettor. I bet a lot of games, almost all the games. It's just my style. Some people like to do a couple picks a week. The complete opposite. So there's a lot of different reasons. I won't get into those reasons right now, because let's get to the games. So first game up is Pats and Carolina, and I like the Patriots in this one. I got them at -3.5, and it's just simple. They just have a lot of quarterbacks with a lot to prove. They got Milton and Drake May, the rookies. Then they got Bailey Zappi. Zappi obviously has started a lot of NFL games. May and Milton have talent. They got a lot to prove. So I think they're going to play well. Carolina doesn't have Andy Dalton, and they're not going to play Bryce Young. So they're going to throw out Jack Plummer, Jake Luton. So yeah, I don't like that at all. I like the Patriots to win it by margin. And then I also like the under in that game, under 33.5. I got them running the ball. New England, the head coach Mayo, new head coach Rob Mayo says he's going to run the ball a lot. So I got them running the ball a lot. That's going to burn some clock. And then the new head coach of the Panthers, Canales, he says he wants a lot of effort from start to finish. So he's, those are the two messages. That smells like an under for me. Running the clock out with running the ball from New England. And then obviously Carolina, I don't expect them to move the ball with Jack Plummer and Jake Luton. So I like a good effort from both sides. I think that translates to very good defense. All right, so let's go to the Lions and the Giants game. Lions and Giants. Let me pull up. Sorry guys, real quick. Let me pull up the spread for that game. I didn't bet that game. I think it's like -3.5. The Giants. While I'm pulling that up. Score and odds NFL. It'll take me 1 second. Just a second, guys. All right, here we go. I got it. Yeah, it's 3.5. It's 3.5. The Giants favored. So basically, in this one, you got Sudfeld and Hendon. No. Sorry. You got Hendon, Hooker, and Drew Lock. No. I was right. Sorry. It auto-corrected on me. It's Sudfeld, Nate Sudfeld for the Lions, and Hendon Hooker, the backup quarterbacks. And then Drew Lock versus Tommy DeVito, who, last year he started for the Giants. He's a character. He's like living with his parents, and always talked about chicken parmesan or whatever. It was funny. It was really funny. But he did I don't know if he did okay. He had some good moments. But anyways, if I had to lean here, I'd play the Giants. They're at home. Home field doesn't mean a ton in preseason. I still think it means a little bit. A lot of people don't think it really means a ton. I think there is some slight advantage for them being at home. I don't know. I won't spend too much on this game just because I know there was like you can't really call those things fights. They didn't really fight. Maybe Kirby Joseph and Neighbors, you could call that a fight, but everything else is just pushing and shoving. But yeah, no, I'm not going to spend much time on that one. Let's go to the Texans and the Steelers. So this line opened up at like Steelers favored, and they got all the way to Steelers +3, I guess, when Russell Wilson wasn't playing. They found that out today. I like the Steelers to win it. Tomlin cares about the preseason, or he gets his team ready to go in the preseason. I know he had better backup quarterback play the last couple of years. I mean, obviously, he had Mason Rudolph. Then you had Duck Hodges a couple of years, and I don't know. Steelers show up. They show up. They play really hard in the preseason. The Texans, the defense looked really bad in the Hall of Fame game. The backups, and I think the backups are probably going to play a lot in this being like the first Week 1 preseason game. So I like the Steelers. They got Kyle Allen and John Rice Smith, and then the Texans have some pretty good quarterbacks too with Davis Mills and Case Keenum, but Boyle's their last guy thrown out there. Justin Fields is going to play a little bit in this one too. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the Tomlin preseason. I did bet this one Steelers -1.5. I'm gonna roll with that one. All right, let's get to Atlanta, Miami. I really like this one, guys. I really do. They got Heineke and Penix Jr., the rookie, and then Nathan Rourke for the Falcons. And Rourke played for the Jaguars last year. He's gonna be the quarterback closing this game out. Rourke, he's really, I don't know, just a journeyman backup, really. Well, not journeyman, but I mean, he's just been a backup, and he plays in a lot of preseason games. So I feel comfortable with him closing it out against what the Dolphins are throwing out there with Mike White and Skylar Thompson. And obviously, this is the Raheem Morris era starts in Atlanta this week. So I'd like the Falcons to get out there and put a really good effort forth for him. And yeah, I like Atlanta to win that. I did bet the -2.5 in that one. All right, the next game. This one's interesting. Philadelphia against Baltimore. Baltimore is like a cash cow in the preseason for like the last, I don't know, like 7 years. I mean, it's pretty crazy. But last year they finally, kind of regressed. They went 1-2 against the spread, or maybe they went 0-3 against the spread. I can't even remember. But they only won one game last year. It was uncharacteristic of what they've done in the long-term past. So now, they're like short home dogs. I think it's like +1 right now, +1.5. Philadelphia's favored -1.5. But then Sirianni and the Eagles, they don't really take preseason that seriously. So it's kind of tough. And the line did open +3. People did bet Baltimore down. Kenny Pickett and Tanner Mackey or something like that. It's going to be the Philadelphia quarterbacks are going to play a lot in this game. And also Will Grier. And then on the Ravens, it's Josh Johnson, Devin Leary, Emory Jones. Baltimore, they had a lot better backup quarterback play during that incredible preseason stretch where they were winning all those games. I don't know, guys. This one's tough. I'm not going to bet this one. I mean, I guess I would lean Philly, but I really don't feel good about that one. Just given just a lot. I don't know, guys. I got weird feelings about that one. I'm not going to touch that one. Washington at the Jets is the next game. Washington's now up to -2.5. Let me see if that's still true. Yeah. There's some threes out there too. -3, -2.5 for the Commanders. And I lean that way. I do. They got Mariota, Jeff Driscoll, and Sam Hartman as the Washington quarterback backups. And then the Jets have Peasley, Tyrod, and Adrian Martinez. So I don't know. I mean, Jeff Driscoll and Hartman closing out the game. Mariota's not, man. I can't believe how bad Mariota is. Honestly, this is kind of crazy. Just in Oregon, he's just like look really, really legit, like safe quarterback lock for the NFL, and he's just been everything but that. But yeah, I'm gonna stay off of this one, guys. I do lean Washington to win and cover, but I don't feel great about it. Next game, Buffalo at home hosting Chicago. They got Shane Buechele, I think is how you say it, for Buffalo, and Mitch Trubisky's the backup quarterbacks. That'll play a lot in this game. Buechele did really well in Kansas City in the preseason the last 2 seasons. I believe his last 2 seasons. I know last year he did well. I trust them at home. Those two, Trubisky and Buechele against Chicago's backup. Chicago's defense didn't look good in the Hall of Fame game. Like those backups that'll be playing a lot in the second half of this game. They do have Tyson Bagent. Ripien. I forget his first name. I think it's Brett. I think it's Brett. It's Ripien. Ripien's last name. I think his uncle played in the NFL too. And then Austin Reed. Austin Reed looked bad in the Hall of Fame game, like the one series he played. So I like Buffalo. McDermott he's like Tomlin. He takes preseason very seriously. I expect Buffalo to come out, play well, get the win. I did bet them. Oh, well, actually, no, I haven't bet them. I'm going to bet them. Definitely going to bet the Bills. Bills -1. I think they're +1 right now. There's money coming down on them. They're +3. I missed the number. I want to bet them +3, but I think Caleb Williams is going to play in this one, so I'm gonna wait for him to be officially playing. Hopefully, get a little bit of line value coming back the other way for the Bills. But I will be on the Bills even if he's ruled out and the Bills switch to a favorite like -1. It won't be the best line, but I'm still gonna bet that. All right, next game, Vikings hosting the Raiders. It's no secret if you've been following the NFL and just the Vikings and what they do in the preseason last 2 years under O'Connell. They're 0-6 straight up. I don't know about against the spread, but they're not winning. So I think that's why they're home underdogs. They got bet up to the Raiders got bet up to -5.5, and then there's been Vikings money coming back. It's back down to +3.5, +3. Let me see. No, just 3.5. It's +3.5, and there's even 1-4 out there. I like the Vikings guys. Their backups. J.J. McCarthy, the rookie, he's a little bit unknown. Nick Mullins, he was the guy from the 49ers. He started a little bit. And then Jaron Hall, he started in the Atlanta Falcons game last year. And he was looking pretty good in it too until he got hurt. And then they had to put in Josh Dobbs, and then they won that game. They came back. That game was crazy. But anyways, the Raiders, I think the reason why they're favored, obviously because, O'Connell doesn't take the preseason that seriously. But Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew quarterback battle. So it might play a little bit longer. Both are going to try to play well. So, that is something to think about. But I like the Vikings quarterbacks. I did bet the Vikings +3. I think it was only +3. I don't think it was +3.5. But I like the Vikings +3.5 right now. I definitely like that. I think O'Connell knows he's 0-6 in the preseason. I think these guys are going to get up. They're going to play hard and at least keep it a close game. And Jaron Hall at the end against Raiders backups easily could sneak in for a backdoor cover. So I did play the Vikings +3. All right, next one is Cleveland and the Packers. Let's see here. It's at -3.5 for the Browns. It's been a little bit of back and forth on the line movement. It did get bet up to -5.5, I think. And then a lot of Packers money drove it all the way down to -2.5. And then there were a lot of people who were like, no, those 2.5s aren't staying. And then they pushed it back up to -3.5. I'm with those people. I did not get the -2.5, but I bet -3.5 on the Browns. I feel this. If I had to say there's one I feel like the best about, I think it's this one. Stefanski for the Browns head coach. He hasn't won a ton in the preseason, but he's played it competitive, and his backup quarterbacks are pretty damn good. So he's got Jameis Winston, or at least good for the preseason. And then Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I think I just put DTR. And then Snoop Huntley, he used to be with the Ravens. So those are the three guys for Cleveland. Last two are pretty mobile quarterbacks. So against bad defenses, I think they can make something shake late in the game. And then also I think they can move the ball pretty well anyways. And then For the Packers, we're going to get Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt. I think he's like undrafted out of Tulane. It's like those two guys, they're not very good. Jameis Winston, DTR, and Tyler Huntley, much better. I think Cleveland rolls in this one. I think Cleveland plays hard. I don't know. I like the one by a touchdown. All right, let's go to the next one. Titans, 49ers. They got Malik Willis and Mason Rudolph as the Titans' backup quarterbacks. And then the 49ers got Josh Dobbs, Brandon Allen, and then Mordecai is his last name. He used to be the Wisconsin quarterback. I'm staying off of this one. If I lean anything, I don't know, guys. It's tough because with rookie head coaches at home, kind of starting their era and everything, and like, hey, this is how it's going to be. You know, I feel like the Titans are going to come out strong. But is the quarterback like Malik Willis? I don't know, guys. Malik Willis, and then, I mean, I only say that because, I mean, the point spread's all the way up to 5.5. Like, I like San Francisco plus 5.5. I would lean that way just because I don't know. I'm not betting this one, guys. I'm off of this one. I could see it go both ways, honestly. All right, next game, Jaguars and the Chiefs. This one has some interesting storylines to it. For Kansas City, their backups are Carson Wentz. So it's I believe it's Carson Wentz's first time playing against Doug Peterson since the two of them separated. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure this is me. Carson Wentz's like first time on the football field against Doug Peterson, you know, post Philly. He won't play a lot. They'll close out the game with Ola Dokin from South Dakota State, and then Ian Book. So I don't know about Kansas City with those two guys. I don't like them. I feel a lot better with Mac Jones and C.J. Beathard of the Jaguars, and the Jaguars at home. And also they really owe the Chiefs. Like, I know this is preseason, but they lost the Chiefs in the playoffs in 2022, and then they lost the Chiefs at home last year, in like week 2 or week 3 of the regular season. So, the Jaguars won all 3 preseason games last year. They lost all preseason games the year before that. I don't know, guys. Like, if that really matters or not, that's kind of weird. But I don't know. I think there's something there. I think the Jaguars come out strong and beat the Chiefs. I did bet them -2.5. I think it's still -2.5. No, there's been some Chiefs money, actually. It's down to like -1. So, yeah, I love Jaguars -1. I would bet that if I hadn't already bet it already. All right, guys. Let's go Tampa Bay Bucks and Cincinnati Bengals. Kyle Trask and John Wolford is going for the Bucks. And then the Bengals have Browning, Logan Woodside, and Rocky Lombardi. I did bet this one too. I took Tampa Bay plus 3.5. I think it's up to Tampa Bay plus 4.5. It is. Yeah, Tampa Bay plus 4.5. That's fine with me too. Zach Taylor doesn't really care about the preseason. I don't trust his backup quarterbacks. Trask played okay in the preseason last year. Wolford has some NFL starting experience. Like, if he's the last guy closing it out, I feel pretty good about that. Bucks responded well last year too. I think they won their last 2 preseason games after losing to the Steelers in week 1 of the preseason. And I don't know, just Bengals winning by more than 3. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think that happens. I think the Bucks are live to win this one. I did take Bucks plus 3.5. All right, a couple games left, guys. All right, Seattle at the Chargers. I like this one. I bet this one. I bet the Seahawks. It's Mike McDonald's first game, rookie head coach. He's got Sam Howell and P.J. Walker, both guys that have started a lot of NFL games. And then for the Chargers, they've got Max Duggan, Easton Stick, Casey Bauman, who was like an FCS guy. It's just a clear advantage, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, P.J. Walker, he's going to protect the football. Like, he might not make a lot happen late in the game, but, I mean, Sam Howell's going to sling the ball around, and I think Seattle wins this. I bet them Gosh, I think it was -1. I bet them. Yeah, I think it was Seahawks -1. I bet them. That lines up to -3, so I did get the right side of that line movement. Um, yeah, I like the Seahawks in that one. Rookie head coach, clearly better backup quarterback play. I'll definitely roll with the Seahawks there. All right, next game is the Saints at Arizona. Um, I like the Saints. I bet the Saints on the money line, like +105. They got Jake Hayner, Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler apparently has been having a nice little camp. He was really hyped up at Oklahoma in college, and then he transferred to South Carolina. Um, he's got some talent. He does have some talent. So, and I think he wants to make a name for himself and really play well. So if he's the last quarterback closing this game out, I feel really good with him against essentially, college players that, I mean, essentially in the preseason, you're going against college players that really aren't going to make the NFL. I mean, maybe a couple of those guys on the field in the fourth quarter of these games are going to be making the NFL rosters, but for the most part, they're just like pretty good college football players. I think Spencer Rattler is more than just pretty good, or at least he's got the talent to make something happen. I think he's going to be motivated to play. So I did bet the Saints. I think Spencer Rattler comes through for us. Clayton Tune will finish the game for Arizona. They do have Desmond Ridder too. He'll play quite a bit. So obviously, I mean, he started a lot of games for Atlanta last year, but I still like the Saints. I like the Saints to win that. All right, 2 games left, guys. We got the Denver Broncos going to the Colts. Denver has some pretty good quarterbacks. I mean, they got, well, at least for preseason, in that sense. Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Bo Nix. They listed Bo Nix, I think, 3rd string on the depth chart. So, I mean, I really don't care who closes the game out. I like all 3 of them to close the game out. So that's why I bet Denver. I think I bet them at like -2.5. And now they're only -1, -1.5. So there's been some Colt money, but I mean, the Colts, they got Joe Flacco, Sam Ellinger, oh gosh, Slovis, and then also Bean is the other backups. So they got 2 other like backups that are. I don't know. Ellinger's not very good. I bet Joe Flacco barely plays. They got Slovis and Bean. I like Denver. I like Denver's backup quarterbacks or whatever quarterback they throw out there. I think they'll do fine. And I like them to get the win on the road at Indy. All right, last game. I feel pretty strongly about this one. You got the Cowboys at the Rams. And even though it's in LA, you can trust and believe that there will be more Cowboys fans in attendance than Rams fans. So that, and also Cooper Rush, Trey Lance are the backup quarterbacks for the Cowboys. And they'll be going against Stetson Bennett and Dresser Wynn. And I don't even think Dresser Wynn's that good. I never even heard of him until like 2 days ago. So, my opinion, I mean, let's just keep it simple. Better quarterbacks on the field. Dallas, they'll have more fans in LA. Sean McVay doesn't really care about preseason. So, let's see what I bet. I think I bet the Cowboys -3.5. That's up to -4, -4.5. So, yeah, I feel good about that one, guys. I think that does it. Try to keep these videos around 30 minutes in the season. I guess I'll go back over since I'm like 23 minutes right now. So yeah, so like my style of betting, I do high volume. I do it for a lot of reasons. The number one reason is I put in a lot of research, and I'll try to release something on Twitter and all my other social media about like the research that I do, because I write it down on a Google Doc so I can like reference it throughout the whole season, kind of alter it to keep it current. But basically, I feel like I know these teams really well. So if I feel like I have an advantage, feel like I have a chance at winning that bet, I'm gonna play it. I'm big into money management, doing it the right way. So I'm trying not to play any odds higher than -110. I usually keep my bet size low. I do 1 to 5 units, but my percentage of each unit is like a quarter of 1%. So it's like 0.0025% is 1 unit for me. So that means like my top play, like a 5 unit play, I'm only betting 1.25% of my bankroll. So, it's really minuscule. But, like this week I already have 12 bets lined up for week 1 of the preseason. It helps control my risk by, barely betting, a lot on each play, relative to my bankroll. But that's just how I do it, guys. I like converted like 2 years ago to doing it this way. It helps me stay disciplined more. I'm not attached to each outcome either. That's why I like betting volume as well. Like before, I'd only bet like, 3 to 6 plays a week. The outcome of all those games, I'd be like, so anxious and watching them. Now if I lose 1 out of my 12, it's kind of all right. That's just one. That bad beat that doesn't hurt. It stings much. So I feel like it keeps my head more level, more clear. I'm not attached to the outcome as much as I used to be, and I feel like I can bounce back and for the following week then look at that same team again and say, hey, I'm not afraid to bet this team again. I don't care that they burned me the last week. I still see an edge. I still see an advantage with them. Let me get back in the game with them and bet them this week as well. So that and account preservation. If I'm not betting like $400 or $500 on one game, you're keeping your bet size lower. You're not going to get limited as much and or banned from some of the sport, or not banned, but you basically can't even bet anything at those sports books. So it helps with account preservation as well, in my opinion. And there's some other reasons, but that's just some off the top of my head. And yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. I've done really well. Very confident in my process. Very confident in my research. I know these teams really well. Preseason's a little bit different animal. I didn't bet a ton of preseason last year, but I did follow it and kind of did like some behind the scenes stuff, like what I would have bet, and I did pretty well. So I feel ready. I'm gonna jump in there. All the plays that I just talked about on here that I'm betting are 2-unit plays. So yeah, it's really nothing. It's like 0.005% of my bankroll on each play. It's not a lot. So I feel good about it. Did my research and ready to roll, guys. Ready to roll. So yeah, if you want to find all my plays, all my bets, right now they're free. It's at Easy Money Wins, EASY Money, and then Wins, WINS, on Twitter or X. Follow me there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for week 2. And I'll keep this thing going every week. And then once it gets into the NBA season, I'm going to try to do an NBA podcast and a YouTube video every day for the NBA. So yeah, I'm going after this thing. Like, share, subscribe, follow me, all social media platforms. Let's crush it, guys.